The maid came in with a tray. Ah, here's lunch. Will you have an aperitif first? Victor, open the bottle, that's in your line. Yes, it's in my line, mumbled Sitnikov, and again uttered a piercing convulsive laugh. Are there any pretty women here? Asked Bazarov, as he drank down a third glass. Yes, there are, answered Evdoksya, but they're all so empty-headed. For instance, my friend Odintsova is nice-looking. It's a pity she's got such a reputation. Of course that wouldn't matter, but she has no independent views, no breadth of outlook, nothing of that kind. The whole system of education wants changing. I've thought a lot about it. Our women are so badly educated. There's nothing to be done with them, interposed Sitnikov. One ought to despise them, and I do despise them utterly and completely. The possibility of feeling and expressing contempt was the most agreeable sensation to Sitnikov. He attacked women in particular, never suspecting that it would be his fate a few months later to cringe to his wife merely because she had been born a Princess Durdolyosov. Not one of them would be capable of understanding our conversation, not one of them deserves to be spoken about by serious men like us. But there's no need whatsoever for them to understand our conversation, remarked Bazarov. Whom do you mean? Said Evdoksya. Pretty women. What? Do you then share the ideas of Proudhon? Bazarov drew himself up haughtily. I share no one's ideas, I have my own. Damn all authorities! Shouted Sitnikov, delighted to have an opportunity of expressing himself boldly in front of the man he slavishly admired. But even Macaulay, Madame Kukshina was trying to say. Damn Macaulay! Thundered Sitnikov. Are you going to stand up for those silly females? Not for silly females, no, but for the rights of women which I have sworn to defend to the last drop of my blood. Damn, but here Sitnikov stopped. But I don't deny you that, he said. No, I see you're a Slavophile. No, I'm not a Slavophile, though, of course. No, no, no. You are a Slavophile. You're a supporter of patriarchal despotism. You want to have the whip in your hand. A whip is a good thing, said Bazarov, but we've got to the last drop. Of what? Interrupted Evdoksya. Of champagne, most honored Avdotya Nikitishna, of champagne, not of your blood. I can never listen calmly when women are attacked, went on Evdoksya. It's awful, awful. Instead of attacking them, you should read Michelet's book de l'amour. That's something exquisite. Gentlemen, let us talk about love, added Evdoksya, letting her arm rest on the crumpled sofa cushion. A sudden silence followed. No, why should we talk of love? Said Bazarov. But you mentioned just now a Madame Odintsov, that was the name, I think. Who is the lady? She's charming, delightful, squeaked Sitnikov. I'll introduce you. Clever, rich, a widow. It's a pity she's not yet advanced enough, she ought to see more of our Evdoksya. I drink to your health, Eudoxy, clink glasses. Et toc et tin tin tin. Et toc, et tin tin tin. Victor, you're a rascal. The lunch was prolonged. The first bottle of champagne was followed by another, by a third, and even by a fourth. Evdoksya chattered away without drawing breath. Sitnikov seconded her. They talked a lot about whether marriage was a prejudice or a crime, whether men were born equal or not, and precisely what constitutes individuality. Finally things went so far that Evdoksya, flushed from the wine she had drunk, began tapping with her flat-fingered tips on a discordant piano, and singing in a husky voice, first gypsy songs, then Seymour Schiff's song Granada Lies Slumbering, while Sitnikov tied a scarf round his head and represented the dying lover at the words. And thy lips to mine in burning kiss entwine. Arkady could stand no more. Gentlemen, this is approaching Bedlam, he remarked aloud. Bazarov, who at rare intervals had thrown a sarcastic word or two into the conversation, he paid more attention to the champagne, yawned loudly, rose to his feet, and without taking leave of their hostess, he walked off with Arkady. Sitnikov jumped up and followed them. Well, what do you think of her? He asked, hopping obsequiously from one side to another. As I told you, a remarkable personality. If only we had more women like that. She is, in her own way, a highly moral phenomenon. And is that establishment of your father's also a moral phenomenon? Muttered Bazarov, pointing to a vodka shop which they were passing at that moment. Sitnikov again gave vent to a shrill laugh.